We're out at the abandoned rifle range today, so please bear with any gunfire you don't hear in the background. Today I want to talk about, well, the hottest topic, HORMEL tamales, and the half-empty can of them I'm using as a phone prop. And after that, I want to talk about how COVID has kind of dicked me. First and foremost, HORMEL tamales are the greatest fucking sustenance item known to man. They're delicious, they're easy to make, they're easy to eat, and I can eat a lot of them. I haven't eaten a lot of them today. I've only had 4 out of the 6 in a can. That's counting the one I gave to Waffles, because before that, I had a $2 steak from IGA that I cooked on that grill over there. You know, you're wondering why I'm at the park and not a living room or in my truck, which is right behind me. Well, I'm at the park today because I am fucking homeless. Because of COVID. Now, I'm going to say, well, you're homeless because of your fault. You know, should have, excuse me, text message from my dad. Should have taken steps to prepare and had some savings. Well, I didn't. And you're right, that is my fault, but even then, let's say you had $2,000 saved. If this continues another month or 3 or however long they're talking about it continuing it, you're going to be out on your ass too. Maybe you already are. Maybe you are a non-essential employee, or maybe your business where you would have been essential is closed down because they're unable to stay open during COVID. Well, if that's the case, there's some things you need to understand. First and foremost, have a plan. Now, my plan for this was to hang around my boys in town here in Billings and Laurel, where I am now. Why am I here? Well, that's a question we've been asking ourselves for eons. You know, is there really a God? But on a smaller scale, the reason I'm here is because I know people here. Be around, if you're able, people you know. If I need a shower, today I went over to my friend Nathan's house to take a shower and use his washing machine. Tomorrow, you know, I might go over to my buddy Sam's farm to shoot rabbits. Just depends. Try to buy food, and I don't really like buying meat often just because it spoils faster than anything. But try to source food that's going to keep. Now, at the same time, all the preservatives and stuff in a can, really not good for you. So, on occasion, you know, if you have money, and you do need to find a way to have money, go in, you know, IGA or somewhere and, you know, get a little $2 Walmart even, get, you know, the cheapest piece of red meat you can find. As well, if you're a veteran, the VA offers sometimes, depending on where you are, they'll have like a little frozen foods thing, like a freezer, like the one in Billings. The vet center has a little freezer in the back, and they'll hook you up with some meat if you need it. You're not going to eat that Blue Jay. Sorry, Waffles is with me right now, and he sees a bird that has excited him. Anyway, and he gave up. So, try to get stuff that's going to keep. MREs are great if you can get them, but remember in the early opening days of Iraq, there were dudes eating nothing but MREs for months on end, and they were getting medevac back to the States for kidney failure. So try to keep that from happening, but, you know, MREs are pretty awesome. I'd say about once a week, just to make sure you're getting all the vitamins and nutrients a growing boy needs. Try to source a piece of meat. Rabbits are good in the state of Montana and many other states in the West, at least. Rabbits are considered a pest animal. There's no season on them. You can shoot them all you like and eat them all you like. However, if you only eat rabbits, you are going to starve to death within the span of a matter of weeks. Look into rabbit starvation. They have almost no nutritional value by themselves. That's why you need to season them really, really well. As well, they kind of taste like shit, as far as I'm concerned. Now, you deep fry them or whatever, but if you had a deep fryer, you'd probably be having a place to live. So, the reason I come to the park is because there's a little grill here I can light a wood fire on, and, you know. As far as places to go, well, I'm lucky enough to have a truck. Now, I've been homeless before I went in the Navy without a vehicle. It sucks. Think about concealment, all right? If you ever went through SEER, I didn't, but if you ever went through SEER, then I'm preaching to the choir. But think about, you know, how do I sleep somewhere where no one's going to bother me? The cops, other homeless people, just random assholes that want to take advantage of someone down on their luck. Well, alleyways work. The woods, if you can find a good spot, and I'm not going to get too far into how to sleep in the woods. There's precautions to be taken, common sense. I'll save that for another video. But typically somewhere around people, as that means people are less likely to be up to nefarious actions just because they're more likely to get caught. Now, I go park at the gas station in town. It's open 24 hours. If I need the bathroom, if I need something from the store, I'm right there. As well, emergency services. If, for whatever reason I'm hurt or sick, the ambulance isn't looking for me out in the woods. However, at the same time, and I've spoken to not the owner, but the manager of the gas station, it's a truck stop. No one cares if I park there, but other places might. And that's going to depend on whoever owns the parking lot. It's going to depend on city ordinances. Thankfully, in the state of Montana, it's not illegal to be homeless. But when it comes to interactions with law enforcement, we try to avoid them the best we can. I try to avoid interacting with the cops in general. But if you have to, I'd really suggest being honest. You're not necessarily out here because you want to be. Now, don't get me wrong, once I'm working again, I'm going to continue living like this in an effort to save money. But explain to them, hey, I don't have anywhere else to go. For whatever reason, the shelter's not an option if there even is one. Or, I have no way to get to the shelter. 9 times out of 10, and I've had it happen to me before, they'll give you a ride over to the shelter and drop you off, no problem. Now, the reason I don't do that is because I'm, for one, armed, which I'll get to in a moment, and I have a dog, which I'll also touch on. So moving on to my next point. If you have a weapon, you need to retain it. Don't go throw your shit in hock, because you don't know how long this is going to last, and it is temporary. But you don't want to risk losing a rifle that you paid who knows what for back when things were better for a measly couple $100. As well, you might need them. My collection's kind of dwindled these days. I'm down to an AR-15, a 12 gauge, a Glock 19, and a 45. The Glock 19 I don't really use often, but I'm hanging on to it because I need a full-frame, modern fighting handgun. I'm mostly carrying my 1911 out of comfort because I'm really not expecting to have to shoot anyone out here. However, if you have to get rid of some stuff to make ends meet, keep your Glock and at least one of your shotguns. I can, right now, put some birdshot in that thing and walk over the hill over there and go shoot a rabbit if I need to. Not going to, because I don't know the law on that in this town, but it is an option. And I'd recommend going armed. And if you're mobile, I'd recommend going to a jurisdiction or a locality where you're allowed to be armed. I don't have a carry permit. I haven't been a Montana resident for 6 months, so I'm not able to apply for it yet. But I can open carry all I want, and I do. Now, why not just conceal if you're doing it properly? Well, you're right, and normally I do. However, the situation I'm in, I can't afford the off chance of an officer noticing that I'm concealed carrying, ask me for my permit, and I don't have it. Then I'm in a bad way. As far as your dogs and even the rest of your family, remember, they have the same needs you do, all right? Your dog needs exercise. You need exercise. Don't run yourself ragged. This is not the time to set a new PR, especially with the gyms being closed. But make sure that if you've got your kids, your wife, whoever, that you guys are getting out, walking around, if you have the option. Don't just sit in the alleyway all day. Get out and walk around. Get some sunlight. The better you feel physically, the better you are mentally. Now, a lot of people are like, well, if you're homeless and broke, I'm not broke, for one. But if you were homeless and broke, why are you still smoking? Well, think about this. This situation as is really shitty. What if we made it even better by adding nicotine withdrawals? Try to maintain a sense of normalcy. If you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking because you're homeless, it's probably going to kill you. And I mean if you're a real alcoholic, all right? It'll throw your body into shock. I'm not saying be drunk all the time for the sake of it, but drink a beer once a day if you have a habit, or you'll get sick. Anyway, but yeah, make sure that whoever you got with you, dog, pig, kids, wife, cow, is still getting plenty of food and water. When I eat, Waffles eats. I had a steak this afternoon, so Waffles had a steak as well. But that's really just me. Dog food's fairly cheap. In any case, remember, this isn't going to last forever, because we're going to make sure it doesn't. And, hopefully, a few weeks this lockdown will be lifted, and we'll get back to work. Also, I'm not in the Navy anymore, if you didn't notice. So there's a channel update. Bye.